So I've done a bunch of research online, and a lot of the professionals, the way that they're doing their trellises is they've actually got a mechanism up here where this line, they've actually got a mechanism up here where they would as the plant grows up to the top, they would actually unloosen the string, and they would let some string out, then letting the plant kind of start drooping at the bottom, like kind of in a U shape, kind of drooping and growing like this, right? And then essentially what they would do is they would take this line and they would scoot it down here, and they would let the plant start drooping this way, and the plant would perpetually grow in kind of like an arcing type of loop. And then you would have to take this one and you would have to move this one down to you'd have to move that one down and kind of do the whole, all your plants would kind of hang like this sort of. So what that does is these are indeterminate tomato plants, which means they don't stop growing as long as you have them trellised properly. So we've decided not to go with that method. So our concept is, and again, this is an experiment, okay? I've only been doing this for 5 months. I've never grown vegetables on this type of scale before with this many varieties. So I'm just learning all of this with you guys. But this is what I've kind of chosen to do. I had to, contemplate on this for a good minute. So basically what we're doing is we've set our wire that's about 7 feet high, so I can reach up there without having to get on a ladder every time we need to do something. So that was kind of the reason for setting this at 7 feet. So what we are going to do is I've decided we're going to grow these plants only to 7 feet. Once the top of this plant gets up here to 7 feet, we are then going to find a sucker branch that I have not cultivated, that I have not clipped off yet. So basically, let's just use this one for example here. So I think you can see it. There's a sucker branch that's coming off right here. It's right there. This is the branch. This branch here actually collects the sunlight. And if you move your finger up here, you've got the one in this right in between, and this is actually the sucker branch. So this is actually a whole new plant itself. So what we want to do is we want to let this one grow in particular, because once this plant gets all the way up here, what I'm going to do, or the tentative plan, is to actually cut the entire plant right here at this base, this big stalk. We're going to cut that plant and we're going to pull it out. And then what we'll have left is this sucker branch, which will then grow in its place and then continuously producing fruit, hopefully, and then grow all the way up here again. So the only downside is, had I done this from the beginning, is I might have wanted to get a sucker branch that was even further down, because the further down the sucker branch is, the more fruit it's actually going to produce from here to the top of the line. So again, the idea tentatively is to let one of these sucker branches grow, and I'll just have to prune it and manicure it and make sure it doesn't fall apart in the process. So anyways, once this plant grows up and we get it around this and we twist it around here, let it grow, it'll keep producing fruit. And then once that gets up there and it's done producing fruit, I'll then find another sucker branch from that main stalk and start pruning that and kind of making it to where it'll take place of the main stalk. I hope that makes sense. The theory that I have and how we're going to try to grow these plants. I really didn't want to get into the whole, letting the thing droop and all this other stuff. We wanted it just to be, a 6-foot plant all the time. So once we cut that stalk, we'll have another sucker branch that will take its place as the main stalk, and we'll start producing fruit. So we can always keep our plants at 6 feet high, and we'll always have something growing. and producing fruit for us. So if I just take a step back here a little bit further, you can kind of see how the trellises is going. So yeah, it's about 50 feet, and tentatively the plan is to duplicate these 2 trellises and move them this way all the way down the line, which would probably be another, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe another 6 trellises roughly. So all of these tomato plants that you see here that are growing above and beyond the trellises from when they were little babies, we're taking all of these plants and we're spending the rest of the day trellising them up here. So hopefully by the end of the day, we should have all of these plants over here trellised. So I'll go ahead and cut the video short there. We don't want to overload everybody, but I do have more updates on the rest of the garden. So I thank you everybody for tuning in. This is RavenSky, Keystone Farm Gardens. Stay tuned for the next update. I appreciate you all coming out. Please like and subscribe to my channel, especially if you're in your local community. And more updates coming. Peace out.